there. I'm up here in the sunlight where it's a lot brighter, so I'm not in the studio today because it's natural light up here, so I thought I'd take advantage. Being summer, it's not been the best of summers. It's been very wet for the last couple of weeks. But what I'm here today to do is, let me start at the beginning and explain. I've been sent a kit from Jewellerymaker, and I want to use the 1mm sterling silver wire that's in the kit to make something to hang a pendant off. Said pendant being a mother of pearl little pendant, really, and it's surrounded by electroplated silver. Really, really pretty. In fact, the one I'm going to use is similar to this, but just a little bit smaller. They're ever so pretty. The colours are gorgeous. So I obviously haven't got a lot to waste. It's not my silver, so I wanted to be economical with it. And I had a little play around last night with some copper, and I made this little prototype. Now, it is only a prototype, and it's certainly not, let me see if I can get a piece of paper and show you that better. It's certainly not perfect by any stretch, because on top of everything else I have been fiddling with it as well to see if I could alter it. But there it is. It's made in copper, and obviously, as you can see, it's got silver solder on it. Excuse me. So I wanted to make something like that. So I thought I'd bring, as it's something I've never done before, I thought I'd bring you along. Plus, if people like it and want to see how it's made, if I've got it on a video, then they can pop along and have a look at it to the heart's content. Now, there's obviously, there are mistakes in this. That's the reason I did a prototype in copper. If you can see, some of the wires are just crossed over there, which that shouldn't be, and that's not how I want it with silver. And I have been, as I say, trying to manipulate it, and I have certainly made that one more out of shape. So what I'm going to do is bring you down and show you what I've got on my desk here. And I thought you might like to come along and watch and see how I do it. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I've got an idea. Whether it'll work, I don't know, but we'll see. I'll see you in a second. Right, what I've got here is what I've got left of the sterling silver wire. It's 1mm, and with this one, I cut it into 4mm strips, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 6 of those at 4mm. I'm gonna try and go with the curve, but that's not gonna make measuring very easy. So let's go with that. But anyway, we need 6 of these. Can even them up a bit after if they're not exact. I had no idea how this would work, and I had no idea how it would solder, but I filed, in this one, I filed the ends so that there was sort of little mitre, so to speak, on the end, so that they would make a good connection. And it didn't do too badly. I did have to do a couple of them, solder them twice, but on the whole they weren't too bad. Right, what we got there? 4, and we want 6, so 2 more. 1. So this is going to be different, because the copper one I just manipulated with my fingers, because it was just an idea I had in my head, and I was actually no idea how it was going to turn out. But actually I thought it was quite pretty when I'd finished. So I think that's the 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what I've got here is these forming pliers. And I thought, as I say, I manipulated those with my fingers, but I thought to try and get consistency, I might try and form these with these little pliers. See if I can show you what I'm doing. Oops. So let's see how that compares to that. It's not such a deep curve, is it? And I think it needs to be, because it needs to make this gap. So let's have a look. What I've got here is also a little wooden mandrel. Let's see if I can make it better on that, just by forming it with my fingers. Maybe I need to anneal it, or maybe hit it with the leather mallet, because that's just springing back. So let's have a look. Is that any better? Oh, actually, that is a lot better. Tell you what, I'll just get my my mallet, and then we'll give it a try without the annealing. If necessary, I'll go and anneal it. So here we are. We've got the rawhide mallet. Let's see. Make sure that you can see. So still springing back. Just turn that over. Do the same on the other side. Actually, that's not too bad. But I think I might go and anneal these, because I think it'll be easier to shape them. So I'll come back to you once I've annealed them. Right, I've got those out of the pickle now. So this one, I've decided, as I say, I'm doing this on the hoof. That was a prototype. It might be nice if we have more of a bend, rather than have that as a banana shape, so to speak, have more of a curve in it. I don't know whether that will work out well or not, but I actually quite like it, so I'm going to try it. So I'm going to get in my mandrel in again, but I'm going to do it on number 2. This should be a lot softer now, and yeah, you can bend it with your fingers, and I'm also going to just do the ends with the mallet. Like that. Turn that over. That way you're hitting with the same pressure. If you just turn it over and do exactly the same on the other side. Right, so that's that. So how does that fit there? Yeah, it's going to be very different. But anyway, let's see. I've got 4 more to go. So I don't know, hopefully you can see me. Hopefully. Is that the same? Yeah. What I'll do is at the end, I will put these all together, and I will trim the length so that they're all the same. I'm sure that's much longer by the looks of it. Excuse me. It's quite warm in here. I think my throat's dry. Bear with me, I'll just have a drink. Whoops. There's another one. Yeah, they are all very inside, because I was measuring them while they were curved. I don't suppose they were ever going to be that accurate. But we can put them together and trim them round and get them nice and level. Try on that one and see. That's what they say to do with rings, isn't it? Make them slightly bigger. Let's see, let's get that one. That's the one I liked. Yeah, that's, well, actually that's not actually as wait. Okay, yeah, so we're getting there. Oh, actually, there's only one left, so let's see what we can do. And then I think what I might do is just tighten it up on that first one. Let's have a look. And then give it a tight chance to spring back. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oops. As you can see, they're very varied in length. And we get them as near as we can. I'll pick the shortest, obviously, and we'll make them all the same size as the short one. How's that? So, oh, well, I got these out of the pickle, and then the telephone rang, and while I was on the telephone, I was sitting playing with these. And that's what I've come up with. As you can see, because the curve is different, it's completely changed the whole thing. And I actually quite like it like that. So the next thing I want to do is to, let me just flatten that out a little bit, is to file these. So at an angle. So what I want to do is put these in place, and that one, the bottom one, I need to just file a corner off there so it gets a good connection there, and on that one I need to go in that direction to file that. So let's just have a go at that. So I've got a little file here, a little needle file, and I don't suppose it's going to take too much for 1mm wire to get an angle on it. Although I might have to go like a shot to get, there we go. I haven't got my bench peg here, which isn't much use. There we go. That's it. So let's have a look. Let's put that up against there. That up against there. No, it needs that corner shaving off quite a lot.
Maybe a bit more for this file is needed. This file worked really well on the copper, but it's finding that silver's a bit of a tougher job. See if that's helping. Oops. No. Right, what I'm going to do is off camera, this is like watching paint dry for you, I'm sure. What I'm going to do is file those corners off, and then I'll come back to you.
Okay, I've managed to do this side. I needed to get more, I needed to be on my bench peg because I needed to brace it and get a good old filing motion going. So I've done this one. Got cat hairs in it. I've done that one, and if you can see, because I've filed on an angle, it's given more of a surface area to solder onto this piece here. And what I'm going to do now is go round, and I'll do that one that way, and I'll go round to do hither and thither, the same things on every one. But as I say, that will be very boring for you to watch. But I'm not sure if you can see the angle on that one that I've gone to. Let me see if I can show you. But if I'll put it down here, and what I've done is I have filed down there, and it's twofold really. It's making a much neater join, and it's making a bigger surface area to solder onto the piece next to it, which is like that. Let me see if I can show you how neat it is now. That joins on there really, really neatly. Obviously, we'll go around with a little bit of sandpaper and finishing off when we're done, but for the actual solder join, that is beautiful. I'm pleased with that. So what I'll do is I'll go around and I will do all these others, and then I'll come back to you because it's going to take me a little while, but I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I've done my filing. This is what we've ended up with. It's not exactly doing it this way. You move one piece and another piece moves with it, but anyway, that's the basic shape of what we've got and what I'd like. Whether it's what I'm going to end up with, I don't know. Sorry, I've just blown that one out of the way. Anyway, that's about what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do now is go over to the soldering block, and we'll have a look about showing you how to solder it, or showing you how I'm going to solder it, not necessarily the way you're going to do it. But this is just showing you how I'm doing it. So we'll go over and we'll start on the next session. Okay, what I've got here, these are the first two rows. Now, what I want to do is solder the two middle ones together. Oh, that was handy, wasn't it? So the middle two, solder the middle two together. And then I've got something to push this one onto. So let's get that back. Got that all set up before I've switched the camera on as well. Mind you, it's all going to move as soon as I start touching it with a brush with flux on and solder and stuff. It's going to move, so it's going to need several reorganizations. So I'm going to take that one away for now, and I'm going to concentrate on that middle row. And I've got a borax cone and my preferred flux is borax. So let's give those two a good coating. Whoa, let's do it on both sides. That's what I'm trying to do. So let's give those a good coating both sides, and then we'll push those together, get a nice shape. Obviously, whatever shape we use for this is going to dictate the whole of the rest of the piece. So let's see if we can get a good join here, get those two pieces meeting. If you remember, you need a good join to help the solder to flow. So how do you think that looks? Maybe that one's a little high. But it is all in the setup. Make sure it doesn't matter how long it takes to set it up. It's much better than having to redo it. So I'm using hard solder. I'm going to pop that on there. A little pallion of hard solder. There we go. So now let's get this torch on. I'm going to heat the two wires up first, get those at the right temperature, then the solder should flow. Probably boil up a little bit at first because of the borax, but it'll settle down again. So here we go. Always hold the torch in your non-dominant hand so that you can hold a solder pick or a pair of tweezers in the other hand. Hot. Make sure that's going to the right place. There we go. Well, that's... Remember, solder follows the heat. I want a little bit more of that solder onto this side, so if I heat this, the solder will flow over here. Yeah, there you go. Could you see that? And that's the way to move your solder with your flame. Ooh, those two should be nicely joined. Where did I put the pick? I've just had it in my hand, haven't I? Okay. There we go. So we'll quench that and pop it in the pickle, and then to save you waiting, we'll come back to you. Here we go. I've got that out of the pickle. That's looking very nice. It's looking well soldered. So let's try and let's have a look. Yep, that's the way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to push that one. This soldering board's a bit hot, so let's make sure we've got that as central as we can get it, because obviously, but it is all going to move. You saw the last one move. You only got to breathe on it and off it goes. But as long as we get it in the right position before the torch touches it and melts the solder, that's all that matters. So yeah, it's gonna do its thing, isn't it? Bless it. Okay, come on, you little monkeys, get back to your place. Oh, I've got to make sure two are joined this time. A little bit more setting up. That keeps sticking up in the air. We don't want that on top. We saw what happened in my pretend one. I'd got a wire on top, and that's not where we want it. So again, I'm going to use hard solder. Let's have a look. See what we can get here. So I've got a little pally in there. Around the other side. Trouble with these ceramic blocks, I like them for pieces like this because they're flat, but you can lose you lose bits of solder and stuff down through the holes, but hey ho, it's only a bit of solder. So we've got a piece on there, piece on the other side. Carefully does it. So I'm going to knock everything out of position. Go on, you little tinker, get on there. There we go. Get my solder pick now and just slightly move that across. So it gives it a bit of chance to be near to the join. There we go. Lovely job. Right, so here we go again. What we're going to do is heat up those two wires and that wire now, which should enable these two pieces of solder to flow. Get them all the same heat, and we should be away. So here we go again. Moving about. Staying away from that join because we don't want that to sort of start messing about. That one's gone, look. And so has that one. Okay, blimey. Because it's only 1mm wire, it is actually going very, very quickly. So, whoa, there it goes. As it cooled down, did you see it pop up? It was stuck before. So there we go. This is, I don't want to speak too soon, but this is not going too badly, is it? Right, so there we go. We've got 3 of the 6 joined together. So yet again, let's look at it the other side. Woo, come out. Don't mess me about. There we go. Look at it from the other side where there isn't a lot of solder showing. We can clean that up nicely and use that as the front. So let's go back into the pickle. Nice. I'll come back when we're ready for the next row. Okay, we're out onto the top row. Here's my soldered piece. Now we've got to work out what we're going to solder next. And I think if we get them in position, we ought to solder those three top ones together, those two solder joins, and then these. No, I don't think we should actually. Take that back, because that centre one's not touching, is it? Okay, so maybe we need to, maybe we just need to take these two side ones away. Let's see if I'm right here. Let's take those two side ones away. Put them on the left and the right so I know which is which. And maybe we need to get this one centralised. And fit the other two around it. Yes, 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 yes. But what's central? What central? Do you know what I'm also going to do? I'm just going to pick this up and I'm going to I'm going to file across there because we want a nice flat piece to abut up to that one. So I'm just going to get my file, bear with me. Oh, I've got a buff stick here. Will that do? All I'm doing is this. As I said before, got a nice flat surface. See how easy that it's... Sorry, I just knocked the camera there with my buff stick. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. Would have been a lot quicker to go and get the file, actually. There you go. There we are. You can see it shining. It's so important before you start is to make sure you've got good contact with the two pieces. There we are. We've got a nice contact point there, and it's nice and clean because the buff stick's just cleaned it. So it needs to be good contact, it needs to be clean, we need all the right elements. We've got to give ourselves a bit of a chance, haven't we? If we align all the stars, hopefully it'll all pay off for us. That's all you can do. Is just, whoops, hang on, let's put that down. Right, so now let's get this level. See if we get these two lines level. I think that's right. No, I think that needs to go up there a little bit more. Where's my stick? Soldering pick. I think that needs to go up there slightly more. Get this right now. Yeah, do you know, I think that's probably about right. I mean, we're doing it by eye, and if it looks good by eye here, it's going to look good by eye when it's finished, because people aren't going to come up to you and measure it, are they? Although it is nice to get it as near as possible. Anyway, I'm not going to fiddle with that anymore because I'm about to move it with a paintbrush, I suspect. There we go. So, a good dollop of borax on both sides. There we go. Oops. How are we doing? Oh, that's nice. Quite like that. A little bit that way, I think. I just keep wanting to go down there. Oh, I've got something on my board here that's stopping me from turning it. What a nuisance. Right, let's go again. As I say, it's all in the setup. Take your time. There is time. There's plenty of time. Right, so let's put some solder on. There's borax on there that's stopping the two from meeting, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to adjust that with my solder pick. So let's give it a go. Let's get this solder on here like that. Oh, I think that's like the other one has disappeared down the hole. Oh, has it? No, there it is. Do you know what I'm going to do? So I'm going to move that top one. I'm just going to get rid of that bump of solder there. We don't need that. It's stopping us from doing what we need to do. So let's get rid of that. That's better. Much better. The further you get on, the more you've got to line up, so it does take a little bit longer. But I think I'm going to try that. Right. Solder pick in the right hand and the torch in the left. So we're again heating up all the wires. We're not bothering too much with the solder. We need to get the wires warm first. It's bubbling up. These, get them all heated through. You don't have this trouble with gold, you know, you just heat where the solder is. You don't have to heat the whole piece. Whoops, didn't need to do that, did I? That's a nuisance. Oh. No. Actually, let's see how that is. Let's heat it all up. I've knocked it. No, it isn't right. I'm not going to leave it. It won't turn out right, and then I'll be sorry. I wish I'd have gone back and altered it. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. Woohoo! It's worth it, you know. It's worth the fiddle and faff. There we go. There we go. See it melt? Lovely job. Let's get that pickled. Let's have a look. Has it popped up or is it stuck? Funny how it pops up when it cools down. Ooh. There we go. Flip it off. So, there we go. Can you see? Oh no. Oh no. It came up with a battery low sign on my camera. So, I don't know how much you've missed of that. But there we go. It's all... well, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those are soldered together. That goes in the pickle, and we need to solder the other 2 on. So we'll come back, and I might charge up the camera. Okay, right, I've plugged the camera in. Let's move you over a little bit. Just make you a little bit more central. Hope you didn't miss too much. I won't find out now until I play it back. But anyway, there is the piece that we've soldered. So we've got 4 done. We've got 2 more left to do. So we've got these 2. This board stays up for ages. So we've got these 2 that we need to join. Actually, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 joins. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Like that. So I'm not going to come on, talk. I'm not going to do all 4 joins at the same time. It's too much. You can't do it. I'm going to mess it up. So I'm going to take one side away, and it's going to be that one. So I'm taking that side away, and we're going to concentrate on that join and that join. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. There we go with the flux. That's hot. Flux there and flux there. So you see we've got enough going on this side without worrying about that side. I'm just going to pick that up a second. Now it's not lying flat. Blow it. It's annoying. Right, so let's see what we can do. The thing is, you often find, even if it's sticking up a little bit, once you put the heat on, it'll slump down really. So let's go with that. Let's put a little bit more borax on there. So we're going with that, and we're going with that, and we're going to get some solder. Right, another little pallion. As you see, these pallions are not very big. It doesn't take a lot to join this, I'm going to say fine wire. It isn't that fine, but you know, 1 mil, it's not a heavy gauge wire. It's not going to take a lot. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. Just checking that you can see what I'm doing. So, have we got one on there? Come on. This is where I think these last 2 pieces that we're going to put on, this is where the solder picks are going to be needed, because I think these might need a little bit of cajoling, and it's a shame we don't want to spoil the rest of it, because the rest of it's gone really well. There we go. So those 2 pieces are ready, and it doesn't matter at all if one doesn't join on and we have to come back and resolder it. That's not important. I'd be surprised if we get through the whole piece without that happening, to be honest with you. So we've got a lot more pieces of wire to heat up now. I'm going to start over this side and work my way around. They're all bubbling up, as you can see. You'll see them slump. If you... There we go. Ooh. No, they're not joined on. Come on, there you go. There's that one. This one. touching, I don't think. Oh no, I've moved the other one as well. So you see, it's just a matter of patience and perseverance. It will do. It will fasten together. Get all the rest of it warm. There we go. We need to move that. I tell you what, let's be happy with that one, and we'll manipulate that to join up after we pickle this one. Let's not be greedy. Let's where's my... Okay, so that isn't joined on, but we're aware of that. We will manipulate it so we've got a good join, and we'll do that next time. We've got one out of the two, so let's not be too greedy. Come on, where's this? I love these Durston solder picks. I love anything Durston. I've probably mentioned that before, have I? I do mention it quite a lot, but right, so we can sort those out. Let's get those pickled, and we'll sort that out in a second. Whoops, I knocked the camera and dropped it. Sorry, I'm going to put that in the pickle. If I can get hold of it again, that is. I tell you what, I'll turn the camera off and I'll get round and do the pickle. Be back in a sec. Okay, we've got that out of the pickle now. Let me just show you what the problem is here. It's not a problem, it's something we can fix. So, oh, that's ever so hot. Let's see if I can pick it up. Got some nice tweezers somewhere. Where are the nice tweezers? Let's use the best tweezers. Here we go. Right, so what we've got here is where we just soldered is there, and that's a nice join. What didn't solder was this piece here. And if I can pick it up and it's not too hot, it is hot. Let me see if you can see. These two are not joined. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to work those, get a little bit of tension in as you would with a jump ring. Don't really want them like that, but if that's what it must be, that's what it must be. But do you know, it's got a little, I don't know if it's flux or what it is, but it's got a little knobble on the end, and I'm not sure it's going to solder this time, so let's do it the best we can. I'm just manoeuvring those two wires. We can always, one is sticking up a little bit more than the other, but if we can just get it soldered, we can file that off afterwards. That doesn't look too bad. So I'm not going to put any more solder on. I might put a little dab of flux on, but I'm going to try and use the solder that we already had on there. So let's see, this is something I do all the time, is this jiggery pokery when I'm on my own, but you don't see many people sharing this with you. So what I'm going to do is heat everything up, but then I'm going to heat this bit. I'm going to heat up this little bit here more to try and drag that solder across. So let's see how it goes. But at least you know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. There we go. As I say, the solder should follow the flame, so let's see what we can do. Get all this heated up first, and then we'll concentrate on the bit that's needing attention here. That's okay. But we'll see. Can't always see when there's flux on there because it distorts. Is it? Has it? Who knows? Let's get the tweezers. Let's pop it in the pickle and then we'll see when it comes out. And then we just, if that's okay, and we can sort of file that up and make it look pretty. If that's okay, we've got one last piece to do. So I'll just leave that in the pickle for a minute. Okay, that's come out the pickle. That's soldered properly now where we wanted it. So we've just got these 2 points to solder now, which we're going to try and set up and get it looking how we want it. Oh, that's a nice join. Happy with that. Look at that. That's a proper mitre. Oh, and then this one needs to go there. Okay, like before, I'm not going to get it exact at this point because it's going to move around. But that is perfect. That's the way I want it to stay. So let's get our borax on. If I can get that to stay there, that'll look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. More than happy with that. I think if we get away with only having to resolder one, we've done jolly good. Right, I think that's looking hunky-dory, isn't it? Find 2 nice pieces, 2 nice little pieces of solder. Get on there without knocking it about. Oh dear, what on earth is that? That wasn't good. Right, there's one. There's one on there. There's one on there. It's going to drop through the hole though, I think, so I'm going to put another one on top. Just in case, because I don't want to redo this if I can help it. So much nicer if you can get it done first time. Right, I'm very happy with the setup of that. That's gone beautifully. So look at all this. We've got to got all this wire to heat up now before we can sort out those solder joints. You can see when it goes that little pinky colour, then you move on. But keep your torch moving all the time because, as I say, it is fine wire. It's 1 mil, but it's not, it's not really thick wire. We've got a little bit more of it to heat up now though, so be a little bit more of a heat sink, but yeah, let's see what we can do. If that one's really not sure about that one. I'm going to go back in, and this one's fine, this one's lovely. Not sure about this one though. Let's see. I might have to go back. Don't know if that one's caught or not. This one definitely has. But if we have to come back and put another bit of solder on, we will have to. But isn't that looking lovely? I'm actually really pleased with that. When that's filed and sanded and polished and all smartened up. That'll look beautiful, I hope. Oh, there we go. I love it when that happens. Oh, it's small things. You're still watching. Just keep making sure that low battery sign hasn't come on. So hopefully for the last time, if those have soldered, hopefully for the last time, we're going into the pickle. So let's drop that in, and I will come back to you. It's getting quite a big piece to go in the pickle jar now. I'll come back to you when that's pickled. It's out of the pickle and it's all looking beautiful. It's all soldered. Actually, all the solder joins make this 1 mil actually stronger. All these different pieces make it stronger than you would normally think, to be fair. So what I'm going to do now is I've got some specs on. What I'm going to do now is just go round and give it a little bit of a file where there's any rough edges, and maybe sand it, and then I'll come back and show you. But yeah, as for soldering, all the fun bits done now. It's just the hard work now. So yeah, some of them, because it's only 1 mil wire, some of them actually look quite dainty, but they're well stuck together, so we're fine with that. So I'll go off, do some filing, some sanding, maybe a bit of polishing, and I'll come back and show you. To show you what I'm doing, I've done a little bit of gentle filing. Clearly you can't be too rough with the file, and now I've got one of these spongy sanding pads, and I'm just gently going over with one of those, and I'll go all the way over, just get it looking gorgeous, and yeah, and then I will give it its final polish. I've yet to decide which way I want to curl these two ends into loops, but whether I do them that way, or over the back, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I have to wait till I get a bit further, and then we'll decide what we do with those two ends. That'll be a big decision. But anyway, I'll get on with this this sanding. It's quite easy actually if you leave it on this flat board, and give it a little going over. Can you see there that that's beginning to shine now? Not sure you can. Let's try and get it a bit closer. It is beginning to have a little shine on it, but it'll polish up better than that when we've finished. So that's where we are at the minute. Okay, here it is, all polished up. Let's see if I can show. I've brought it under the light so you can see it properly and away from that dirty old soldering board. But there we go, all polished. I didn't put it on the big polishing machine because I feel that it's a little bit too delicate for that. So I've polished it all up by hand, and yeah, I think it looks okay. What I think I'm going to do, what I've more or less decided to do, is roll the ends over so they go to the back, and then put some chain through. So once it's finished, it's still showing a bit of shadow, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, it's not better. Yeah, you can see it's polished anyway. I can see it. Oh, there we go. I think the camera's big. There we go. It's all beautifully polished now. So, as I say, I think I'm going to roll those over to the back, and then we'll continue working on the design. On the hoof, really. So I'll come back when I've shown you what I've decided to do. Okay, I'm back again. Right, what I decided to do was turn the loops to the back. You can see them a little bit, but I've done them like that. Let's see if I can get you to see both. It's come out okay. This end, because it's nearer to the camera, it looks huge compared to the other one, but they are the same. But yeah, so there. 2 loops, and I have some chain here, some loose chain, and not sure whether to attach that to a jump ring and just attach it on there, or whether to double it over me just see if I can do this. I'm just going to put you down a sec. Yeah, I wonder if it'd look all right like that, doubled and then taken to the back. Let's move that out of the way. So doubled like that and then taken up to a jump ring at the back. I might try that. There's nothing lost if it doesn't work. We can always change our minds. There's no reason why we can't change our minds. Well, that looks quite cute, doesn't it? Right, time for a cuppa, I think. I think we've done enough for this hour. So I'll pop up and have a drink and have a think about my next bit of my design and pop back.